Okay, it's time for lesson 2.4. Okay, I attached this on our Google Documents. So if this is helpful to you to print this off, that's great. If not, I would put, so you know how we like to make our titles, I would put 2.4 up here, and I would put these 3 items below it as part. If you like this kind of nice and neat like this, this will work for you also. Okay. All right. So let's get started on this piece. Okay. So these are all properties of multiplication. So we want to talk about the commutative property is rearranging your order. So remember, it's multiplication. So 2 times 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 2 times 3. It doesn't really matter. This should look familiar. We did these all with addition. The next one is the associative. Well, that was with our friends, the parentheses. So 2 times 3 times 4 is the same as 2 times 3 times 4. Notice that I've moved the parentheses from here to grouping the back area. The identity, okay? Mirror, mirror, you get the same thing. Well, with mirror, mirror on the wall, when you get the same thing, you multiply. So 3 times 1 is equal to 3, okay? And the property of 0 is anything times 0 is 0. So we have 500 times 0 is equal to 0. Okay, those are your 4 properties. We just did those in addition, so pretty easy. The last property on the back is the property of a -1. This is the inverse. This is the multiplicative inverse. Again, this would still be up, remember, in your area there. So when you multiply by a -1, you get the opposite. Oh, how about I spell opposite right? Oh my goodness. Opposite of the original number. That's pretty easy. So let's see, 3 times the -1 equals -3. Or -3 times a -1 gives me a +3. How about that? Okay, now it's time to practice. Alrighty, so let's see. We're, oh, parentheses, we're here, and then we grouped here. Well, that's the associative property. Oh, I multiplied by 0. That must be the property prop of, let's go back just in case you're, property of 0. 1 times V is V. Oh, that's the identity, mirror, mirror. Good. All right, this one. Now, notice there's parentheses, but it looks like we've went 6 and then we've switched. So that's the commutative. And, oh, there's that property of -1. That wasn't that hard, was it? All right. So find the product. So let's see if we can use this idea, okay, and review. So a negative, so what's the opposite of a -18? Well, that's 18x. Let's see. Negative, 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 negative. You know what? That's going to be positive too, because those are all the opposites, isn't it? When you multiply by a -1, you get the opposite. Well, that would be 20. And this would be 2 times 2.1 times z. So what is 20 times 2.1. Well, let's see. 2, 0, 4. Oops, I forgot to, sorry. How about 42? 42z. Meaning, look at your negatives. Okay, your negatives are paired together. All right, let's evaluate the function. 2 times -2 plus 3.6. All right, so that's a -4 plus 3.6. So I've got to go back to my properties. So let's see, one's negative, one's positive. So I'm going to subtract 10. I'm going to do a little borrowing. Well, that'd be 0.4. But who's bigger? Well, the absolute value of this one is bigger, so I've got to make this negative. -1.5. Now, when I plug this x in, I'm going to put it in parentheses here, because I don't want you thinking that it's a -2. Plus 3.6. So what's 2 times 1.5? Well, that's a -3 plus 3.6. Again, one's positive, one's negative. Take my bigger number minus my smaller, and I get 0.6, and then take whoever has the bigger absolute value, which would be 3.6, so this is positive. Okay, that's it. Pretty easy, huh? All right, your turn to practice.